Showtime plans to get real aggressive if Canelo becomes free or wants to work with them in some capacity to put on a boxing event. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chat channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Use my link to get ESPN Plus. It does help the channel. ESPN Plus, home of a lot of original content. They got docuseries, documentaries, exclusives, BTS, and more for your viewing pleasure. Again, it does help the channel. ESPN Plus. They got ESPN Plus UFC pay-per-view coming up. Adesanya and Paulo Costa. I want to welcome y'all to use my link for that. Now, Forbes did an interview with Stephen Espinoza, head of Showtime and the Showtime boxing programming. Well, not Showtime, but Showtime boxing programming. Link in the description. It says, if Canelo splits from DAZN, Showtime will, quote, be very aggressive in courting him. Now, as you guys know, unless you live on the rock, Canelo is suing Golden Boy Oscar De La Hoya and his new current platform, DAZN. He made, or his legal team made, some errors on the lawsuit and used the wrong jargon. So he has to amend that if he wants to have his court case seen and go through the litigation. So he has a certain deadline to amend and revise the portions that were wrong. And this article says, in the lead up to becoming the biggest pay-per-view star in the world, Canelo Alvarez fought on Showtime and produced impressive numbers. He lost to Floyd Mayweather Showtime pay-per-view 2013, but he helped generate 150 million pay-per-view gross. His win versus Jose Cito Lopez in 2012 compelled more than 1 million viewers to tune in to the cable network telecast, and his victory against Austin Trout attracted more than 40,000 fans to the Alamo Dome in SA. With all the current trouble Canelo has with DAZN and his promoter Golden Boy, Alvarez is now suing the streaming service for 200 and it says 60, but I heard at least 280 because of alleged breaches of his 365 million contract. The Mexican star is looking to latch onto another broadcaster. His lawsuit said as much. According to his suit, Alvarez repeatedly asked his promoters to find another broadcaster who would televise a fight for him in the fall of 2020, and that Golden Boy, quote, failed to put forth a single alternative plan by which it would pay Alvarez the $35 million it had promised him for his fights. Though Showtime sports president Stephen Espinoza, told me on Tuesday that Golden Boy hasn't approached the network about hosting an Alvarez event, he didn't rule out a possible reunion in the future. Now, that's interesting because Canelo is saying that DAZN was like defaulting and breaching their contract. So Canelo got with Golden Boy and said, take me somewhere else. You know, you guys owe me X amount of money. We need it. I don't want to be out of the ring. Let's go. And Stephen Espinoza told the guy from Forbes, the author, that they haven't been approached. So Golden Boy used to work with Al Heyman. We know that Oscar De La Hoya doesn't get along with probably Richard Schaefer, who is no longer with his company, Al Heyman, and Floyd Mayweather. It's a soured relationship. And, you know, De La Hoya feels that he built all these fighters and Al Heyman stole them and all this and that. And it's looking bad for Golden Boy. They don't have a big roster, and their biggest names like Ryan Garcia and Canelo have expressed concern and angst being signed to them in recent memory. So the fact that Canelo is saying, take me to another broadcaster before the lawsuit, and Golden Boy haven't even approached Stephen Espinoza, as this article is suggesting, that's sad, because that looks like they're not even willing to bury the hatchet with Al Heyman and look into it for their fighter and see what the other options were if DAZN was defaulting. But now, if Canelo gets out of his contract, or they settle out of court and somehow is not with Golden Boy, Oscar, and or DAZN, then he could still go back to that broadcaster if he becomes a free agent. So, you know, that's why this should be a cautionary tale, and doing what's right. You do what's right. If you don't do what's right, the outcome that you didn't want can still become the outcome. Again, Oscar De La Hoya, he was foolish when HBO folded and said, we're getting out of the boxing business. We're getting rid of HBO boxing, to not explore the Showtime option, a network Canelo had already fought on and they had done good business together. But Oscar, having personal vendettas and grudges, took Canelo to an unproven app who hadn't done any significant business in America. And now look at all the problems that have ensued since that. Versus if he would have took him to Showtime, right? Then Canelo had already had some experience with the Showtime programming. Again, some of his fights, like I believe Angulo, Lara were on, Canelo was on Showtime, Trout, Mayweather, you know, those were Showtime fights. So he had experience. And most importantly, Showtime still believes that pay-per-views are a thing. DAZN didn't. So they were allegedly going to front all this cash flow to Canelo and his events. And now they're trying to get him to do a pay cut because, oh, it's a pandemic and stuff like that. But here's what Stephen Espinoza of Showtime said, quote, "We'd love to. We're proud of the time we spent with Canelo Alvarez. We did some important fights in his career, and we helped launch him as a pay-per-view attraction in the United States. We'd love to be in business with him again. We're obviously going to respect his existing contracts. We're not going to run afoul of that. If there's a time when he's available, we'll be very aggressive. We have a lot to offer, but the time to pursue that is only but the time to pursue that is only after it's clear he's contractually able to do so. So they're not going to break any laws to get him, but he's letting you know it's cracking." Alvarez left Showtime, moved to HBO in 2014, multi-fight deal where he'd take on Golovkin, Miguel Cotto, Julio Cesar Chavez. Alvarez then journeyed to DAZN, where he fought Rocky Fielding, Danny Jacobs, Kovalev, and where he makes about $35 million per fight. But it's looking more and more likely Alvarez won't be competing at all in 2020 because of his contractual struggles with DAZN and the two sides' inability to agree on an opponent. Even at the rate of paying him tens of millions of dollars, Showtime would be interested if there's a split with Alvarez and DAZN. Quote, "There haven't been any conversations," Espinoza said. "As soon as there's some clarity, we'd love to have those discussions." Now, this is horrible news for the DAZN apologist and Golden Boy. If Canelo can somehow get out of his contract and if he goes to PBC, it's over because they're going to know what to do with him. You know, the other thing is the PBC, they still have Fox. They still have pay-per-view. So it's going to be a different situation than DAZN. It's going to be easier to access. Some people don't even know how to log into DAZN and, you know, set that up. So if Canelo goes to PBC, it's a wrap. And Ego Stradamus strikes again. Now Stephen Espinoza is admitting that they're going to aggressively pursue him if he's a free agent. Look who made videos. Look, 7 days ago. Who? Boxing Ego. That's who. Google front page. Live stream. Canelo Alvarez to PBC. Right? Canelo Alvarez signing to PBC. Canelo lawsuit. I've talked about these very subjects, and now you hear confirmation from the people behind the scenes. It says Canelo Alvarez. Look at my live stream. Live stream. Boxing Ego. Canelo Alvarez to PBC could bankrupt DAZN or Golden Boy. Told you. Look, this is my live stream. Make sure you guys tune in. Now you have confirmation that they're going after Canelo and trying to rekindle that relationship and work with him in the future if Canelo becomes free. So Golden Boy and DAZN, they're legal teams, and whatever they have in that contract, they're going to have to work hard to keep this from getting to that, because this, like I said, this could bankrupt at least Golden Boy. You know, DAZN, they have some other endeavors. I still think it's going to be rough for them in the DAZN USA market, so they'll probably leave that. But, you know, they'll go to the overseas market and the things that aren't failing them, like soccer or whatever else, darts, whatever else they got, you know, things like that. So we'll see how this all plays out. First, Canelo got to amend his lawsuit, revise it, make the amendments so the case can get heard, or he has to decide to drop it or whatever the case is. I don't see Canelo dropping the case altogether. I think his legal team, and he assembled a legal team for a reason. So it's about to get real chippy. And Canelo, I don't see him fighting in 2020 unless he gets some type of clearance to fight elsewhere, like an injunction or of some sort, where he could fight on Showtime in December as a temporary fix while they go through litigation. But it's about to be a wrap for Golden Boy, and it's going to be real hurtful if they lose this fighter in Canelo Alvarez. and if PBC picks him up. I mean, what would you even need DAZN for? You know, no offense to the other fighters, but the biggest star attraction that they have wants to leave. So if he goes to PBC, PBC is going to have Canelo, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, both Charlo brothers, you know, Leo Santa Cruz, Gary Russell Jr., Andy Ruiz, Luis Ortiz. I mean, it's just going to be a hard proposition. You're going to watch DAZN for Joshua and Dillian White, Povetkin 3 and all that. Like, I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but I told you that PBC, they would definitely welcome. Canelo can still do numbers. He can't do numbers not picking the right fights and not being promoted. Listen, I got a lot to say, so stay tuned to the channel. I don't think DAZN did a good job of promoting Canelo. That's for starters. Like, they put the Kovalev fight on against the UFC fight. Showtime, Steven Espinoza, I've interviewed him. They just know what they're doing a lot better. They know more. He knows more about boxing for sure. He actually goes to all the, like, damn near fight cards. He speaks. He knows. It's just it's just levels. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. If you love what I'm doing, smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more sports. Get unlimited access to premium content with an ESPN Plus subscription. ESPN Plus offers a variety of content, including specials, behind the scenes, docuseries like Bruce Lee's Be Water, and much more. With an ESPN Plus subscription, you get access to a ton of classic archive fights and replays from boxing and the UFC. Big names like, "Hi, I'm Mike Tyson. Come and watch my fight." Floyd Mayweather, "Easy work. I'm rich." And Manny Pacquiao, "Yes, it's up to my promoter. Just to name a few. If that's not enough, you could get the ESPN bundle, which includes ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All 3 apps, one low price. You don't want to miss out. Make sure you guys click that link in the description box of all of my videos. Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.